Hello everyone, I'm Javika Kancharla and today I will be explaining to you guys the question 3 of homework 1. So this is the given question and this is a noisy channel. As you can see, there are two digital signals that are being transmitted, that is digital signal 0 and digital signal 1. So the probability that you can transmit a digital 0 is 0.6 and the probability that you can transmit a digital signal 1 is 0.4. Now on the receiver's end, there are also two possible outcomes, that is you receive a digital signal 0 and you receive a digital signal 1. So as you can see, there are four conditions that are possible. That is, when you transmit a signal 0, you receive a signal 0. When you transmit a signal 0, you will receive a signal 1. When you transmit a signal 1, you will receive a signal 1. And when you transmit a signal 1, you will receive a signal 0. Now the probability that you will send a signal 0 and receive a signal 0 is 0.7, and the probability that you send a signal 1 and receive signal 1 is 0.8, and the probability that you send a signal 0 and receive 1 is 0.3, and probability that you send 1 and receive 0 is 0.2. Now in the question, we are asked to find out the probability that the data 0 is received, that is this one. So let's see the solution. So as you guys can see there, let's consider that for possible probabilities, that is probability of sending, that is transmitting T0, let that be P of T0, let P of T1 be the probability of transmitting signal 1, and P of R0 will be the probability of receiving a data 0, and P of R1 will be the probability of receiving a data signal 1. Now the question states that we should find the probability that the data 0 is received. So data 0 can be received in two outcomes, that is when you transmit a 0, you receive a 0. When you transmit a 1, you will receive a 0. So we can calculate the probability of receiving 0 by taking the summation of these two process probabilities, that is probability of receiving 0 when you transmit 0, and then you will multiply it with the probability of that you're sending or you're transmitting 0, and probability of receiving 0 when you're transmitting T1 into the probability of that you're going to transmit 1. Now when you substitute these values, that is 0.1 into 0.6 and 0.2 into 0.4, you'll be getting an outcome of 0.5. Now the question has a second part where you're supposed to find the probability of error. In the given question, since it's a noisy channel, there are two possible error outcomes, that is when you're transmitting 0 and you receive 1, and when you transmit 1 and receive 0. So how will we calculate the probability of this one? We will calculate it by taking the probability of these two processes and adding them. That is P of receiving R1 when you transmit 0 into probability that you will transmit a data signal 0, plus probability of receiving 1 when you transmit 1 into the probability that you'll be transmitting data signal 1. Again, when you substitute these values, that is 0.2 into 0.4, 0.3 into 0.6, you will be receiving a value of 0.5.